I am so, so, so tired. Oh, hi, y'all. Of all of the channels, my favorite channels that I subscribe to. I mean, if you go to this time a year ago or 2 years ago, they were so great. I mean, there was very little super chats and there was very little sponsoring. I mean, they would have the ads, but I'm a paid YouTube subscriber, so I never saw them. And now all the channels not only take commercial breaks, right? Live spots where you have to fast forward, which wouldn't be so bad if most of the channels allowed the premium controls, because the premium controls, if you have YouTube Premium, should be on every channel, where if they do sponsor in the middle of their video, you could just hit premium controls and then fast forward 15 seconds like 5 times and you get right through it. But no, you have to enable that. And so many of the channels don't enable it, or they disable it, which really is maddening. So you can kind of tell who the grifters are, because if your channel that you're watching, if you're a YouTube Premium subscriber and you don't have those premium controls come up, then that means that the content creator disabled that, so that you have to sit through their ads, which I find so despicable. But anyway, so, like I was saying, I can go back, and I have done it with certain things, but, I watch YouTube at work all day long. I mean, I listen, I do work a little bit. But, I keep it playing all day long. So for the older content, for like 2 years back and further before that, it's fine because I'm barely paying attention because I'm working. But like if I come home, I want to watch a current show, and I'm just like so turned off by how money hungry everybody is. And, I was thinking like, I wish I could do lives, but I can't. I mean, there's just no way I could. I'm just not. I mean, it would be so bad, but it's so funny because I was like, man, I wish Bella could have a live chat where the camera is just on her and she's just doing all sorts of things, and people on the side are chatting about other things or about how cute Bella is. And I was like, oh, that would be such a great live stream, but I could never do it. Sorry. I know I shouldn't have mentioned it if I can't do it, but I can't. But yeah. So I just wanted to complain about that, because I don't understand how our content creators can just, they used to be creators, but they're not anymore. I mean, so many of them just grab a mic and then they'll sit there and read like a 15-page depo or something. And I'm like, ugh. And I'll see super chats come across for that. Or some of the content creators just talk about nonsense and they just read your comments and they don't, make a comment on it, which would be the point. I mean, I would think if somebody made a comment and it got read, then answer it or react to it. But no, for the most part, they just read it and then go to the next one, take it down. And I'm just like, really? Really? And it's just very frustrating. And I don't understand why I'm like probably the only one that really minds it. I mean, I'm probably not the only one, but it feels like it, because any chat I visit, I'll just see people gushing and gushing about how great the channel is, how great the host is, the wife, the kids, the mods. And I'm like, I must be from another planet, because I'm sitting here saying, man, I sure wish I had a life. And I know that's terrible, but it's true. I just don't understand why the quality of the content is just garbage. Now, maybe it has something to do with the fact that there's no really great trial going on, because I think when there's a great trial in progress, having all the pundits on and having the guest stars, rehashing it all, I guess maybe that's a little bit more compelling. But when we're in between trials like now and they just try to fill the airwaves with junk, I just get so frustrated. I don't know. It's not like they work really hard. Most of the channels now, this does not apply to everyone. Of course, there's always exceptions, but all they do is turn on a microphone and just start talking, and people are throwing all this money at them. And I'm like, really? You're accepting this money like that? I mean, if you think about it, sometimes they'll throw super chats like $10, $15, even $5. If you do that a couple of times a week, by the time you're done, you've paid these people like $50 or $60. And I'm like, really? I mean, I have a hard time parting with my $15 a month for these premium channels because there's so many ads in them, like Paramount Plus or Max or whatever, but even so, they are 100,000 times more worth it than these content channels that you just watching somebody read a transcript for an hour or just waffling about nothing. I don't know. It's crazy. And then I have this vision in my head and I can't get it out of my head, and it's probably so bad. But I just think of like, I don't know if you ever saw that. I don't know which movie it was. It was so good too. It was with Bradley Cooper. I can't think, but he was in a carnival or whatever. And there were like these carpetbaggers, and they would come into town and they would just fool the whole people and fool the whole people. Use your words. Okay. They would just fool the town and they would grift on them. And then when the people would leave, they would sit there and count all their money, and they would be like, how much we get this time? And I just feel like I know I've done a little deep dive, and I know that, a lot of the content creators, after they post something, they go to their revenue button, whatever it is. I mean, I don't know the technical term, and they're able to see how much money that particular broadcast made and how, and I just feel like at some point, because I don't think it's possible to care about your viewers and take their money at the same time. I mean, it's one thing for paid subscriptions. I am so about that. I think that's a great thing. You pay a subscription to a channel, and you're a member of the channel, and it's wonderful. And I wish that were enough for these content creators, but it's nowhere near enough. They want to do the ads, and they want to do the super chats, and they want to sell their merch, and they want to write books. And I'm just like, they are milking us to death. If Paramount Plus or Hulu or any of those just kept on grifting every time we turn them on, I mean, other than ads, I just don't think they would do well. And I just think after a while, these channels will just either burn out their subscribers or burn themselves out. And I just wish they would all strategize to make such a better, whatever it's called, mission statement or business plan or whatever, so that it was, something that it was in the background, like the paid subscription, that's kind of in the background, but not just, every 5 minutes just wanting your money. Oh, well. Like I said, I'm probably by myself, and I was complaining to Bella the other day, and she was like, why don't you live stream me? And I was like, I can never do that, Bella. I'm just kidding. We don't really have these conversations. But it did occur to me that it would be so great if there were not just my Bella, but if there were channels out there that would just kind of have things going on in the background that were interesting to watch, and a chat going. Like during Christmas, I was able to watch live walking in the street of New York. This guy, he got like a 4K camera or 8K, and it was really a nice camera. And all he did was walk around Rockefeller Center and Macy's and Saks, and it was just such a well done video because he didn't talk, but some of the things you saw, it was all just New Yorkers walking around, and it was really good. You felt like you were walking on Fifth Avenue. It was really neat. And there was a chat going, and it was just so nice. And I wish I could find more of those, but I can't. And he didn't have even one super chat, but he did have a thanks button. And I always look for a thanks button if I find a channel that doesn't bombard me with, begging for money. I'll always look for a thanks button. And if they're not doing that and their content is halfway decent and it helps me pass my time of day, I'll definitely give thanks, because it's not like I begrudge these people if they take the time to make a decent video or something. I certainly want them to be paid for their time with a little bonus, But when I see it just so out of control, I don't know. So that's my rant for a Saturday. I don't really have much else to talk about for the week, because I'd love to talk about Trump, but I don't want to get controversial. So just suffice to say, I give him 2 thumbs up for the past week, and I always have to say, whenever I, say how great I think Trump is doing or is going to be for our country, I always have to preface that by saying I did not vote in this election. I've never voted, actually. And I not only didn't vote, but I was nervous. I mean, the first time around when I heard that he won over Hillary, I was like, oh my God, we're going to be in war by Thursday. I just thought he was so dangerous. And then, of course, when I saw the way that the country, the government had gone after him on so many different levels, and he just kept prevailing and saying, I'm going to run again. And I had to take my hat off to him. And then the assassinations and everything else. I mean, I just kind of came around, and now I'm kind of glad that, I am glad that he's president. I hope he has a good, long, healthy presidency. And we'll see where it goes from there. And what else? I think that's about it. So have a nice weekend, y'all. Bye.